Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Riancho, and today we have a very special guest. I'd like to welcome to the channel, Jeary Football. How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? I'm doing great. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing awesome. Pleasure to have you. It was dope as fuck to be on your channel last week, and glad we can complete the collab, bring you over. And those teams were pretty dope. Did you have a favorite of those two that we did on your stream, or?
I mean, the only one that I really remember is the one where we got Burrow and Jaden Daniels off the top of my head, and I do like how that turned out quite a bit.
Yeah, I felt like we had a unique combo, and our strategy worked out. I think when we pushed tight end, we were able to mix it up and get some good stuff going. So hopefully we get some good teams today. And before we get going, let's just bring in members of the chat real quick. We got you letting us know exactly
Yes,
what's even better. We're obviously going to win with one of those teams, and then this team is going to just take second place. So we're going to be splitting a total of 300K. That's 100% how we'll finish this. And
absolutely already established.
Shamrock in here on a 3-mile run, but I assume you're tuning in. Welcome in, man. Good to see you. Scott, good evening to you as well. Once again, appreciate you, Scott. And Wilson, who's also in your chats as well. I recognize him in here. And we got Greenby. So hopefully we can avoid getting in with some of them. Hopefully don't get sniped too much. But with that in mind, let's head over and I'll pull up the big board. I'm going to enter on my phone so we don't lock anyone out. But I've been trying to, I've been contemplating it the way that you kind of have been trying to get in sneakily, try to avoid some snipages. But in general,
Dude, it hasn't even been working. And like the times where I did, I ended up getting sniped in those ones.
After a while of doing these, you kind of just accept your fate as like inevitably people are just going to get their guys. And if it's the right pick, it's going to be taken from you. But I kind of feel like if you draft with the intention of sniping someone else, you're usually not helping out your team as best you can. Like sometimes it's just not really the best pick for you. And that bitterness is not going to help you in the long run.
Yeah, that's one thing I pointed out in my drafts, at least. Like the people who join my drafts, they don't join just to like snipe and like fuck your team up, really. Like they're just trying to draft their best team too.
Yeah, in general, we all just want the best players possible, and a lot of those overlap. And it is what it is. But I'm ready. If anyone watching wants to join, I'm going to be joining in 5 seconds. So hit that button right now, and I will be joining as well. And should be underway very, very shortly. Looks like it's still spinning, but I think I'm in. There we go. All right. Let me pull that up. Is there a pick you like the most? Is there a side of the board you like prefer, or you just really don't care?
Give me top 4. I like being top 4.
It definitely helps. It feels nice, but I honestly, sometimes when I'm at 1 and 2, I love the first round, of course, but I feel like as the board goes through the rest of the rounds, some of those positions to be in are tough. I feel like I actually really like being at 8, 9, and 10 sometimes, just hoping that you can close the gap in the early rounds. It's not going to mess with you too much, but I do like how a lot of teams filter out across the draft in some of the later half.
Yeah, like whenever you're in like the first 2 slots or the last 2 slots, seems like that's when you kind of get sniped the most and value doesn't really fall to you. So being a little closer to the middle is always nice. Like pick 4 feels great. Like getting any one of Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka, Jamar Chase feels pretty phenomenal.
A good safety net, 100%. There's one, if I can avoid the bookend, either 1 or 12, I feel like I feel a little more confident with some of my ability to get good values. But you always have to reach on someone when you're at the bookend. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah, but you can also get some unique teams that way too. So got to look at it that way too sometimes.
That's very true. Whenever I'm at pick 12, I just give myself carte blanche to do whatever the F I want.
Pretty much, yeah. I always find myself reaching there. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Nah. We get pick 3. We're probably going to miss out on your boy.
Yo, give us our boy Gibbs. Come on now.
Well, I know Nat Ball. So he's going to have to be just kind as fuck. I can't imagine that's what's gonna happen. But
Yes,
let's hope.
sir. Like in my stream yesterday, I got pick 2 and pick 3. Both times Gibbs went one pick before me. And my whole stream was about the David Montgomery trade as a clear Lions fan. And man, I wanted to make a run for the jersey, but it just didn't happen. Bryson was actually, I believe, one of the guys who took him right before me in one of the drafts. And
He's
I
in
don't
here
blame him.
at 9.
Yeah, good dude.
We also have Wilson in here at 5 in the comments, and then I do recognize Nat Ball right ahead of us at pick 2. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if I am forgetting anyone, apologies, but let me know in the chat if you are in here. And obviously, Gibb goes at 1, not even a chance.
There he goes, man.
I think that's appropriate. I think it's fair.
I think it's fair.
Until they sign someone, who knows what's going to happen. Are you Puka or Chase?
I'm like honestly 50-50 on either of them. I'm down to go Puka though. I think I have a little more Jamar Chase right now.
Same. I think I'm a little bit higher exposure with Jamar.
I pretty much want to be like even on both of those guys. I don't have a preference.
Yeah, in line with ADP. And if it lines up where I end up getting Jamar Chase to fall to me at 5 and I'm a bit more overweight on him by the end of it, I would love that. But in general, just give me the top of ADP and the top 4. But I do prefer the running backs 1 and 2 over that tier of receiver.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is just the quarterback stack. Like usually the T. Higgins drafter takes Burrow, but if he falls back to you in the 6th round with Chase, man, oh, that feels so good.
Hell yeah. I saw your team yesterday where it was kind of similar to our Daniels Burrow combo we had on our stream, but you got it with Chase, and that feels even better. That feels elite.
Yeah, so I like having both those in my portfolio. And for anyone who didn't miss that, I took Terry McLaurin in the 4th round, Jaden Daniels in the 5th, and then had Joe Burrow come back in the 6th round on a team with Chase and then a separate team with Higgins that Nice and Blunt and I drafted together.
How long did you wait for tight end on that one?
Oh, shoot. I don't remember. I think I might have taken Laporta actually because he fell to me like in the 9th round or something, if I remember correctly.
If you can get Laporta like pick 100, that feels like such a smash.
Yeah, I'm not passing that up. He's my highest drafted tight end right now. I have a very clear bias, but if he stays healthy, he can easily get double-digit touchdowns. He can get like 8-catch games and 100-yard games as a tight end. So in that round, man, that feels nice.
I know, speaking of your bias, are you excited about the Drew Petzing acquisition, or are you not as do you not care as much?
In Dan we trust, my friend. In Dan we trust. If Dan Campbell says he's the guy and says he's a good fit, I'm with it. So I 100% believe it. Plus, I'll talk a little bit more after I pick. Let's see who's on the board.
We could go Brock Bowers if you're interested. It's not my favorite cup of tea, but I'm honestly fine doing anything here. I feel like getting a mix and match that's unique is always fun.
I like me some Chase Brown.
That's chill. We do have elite wide receiver, so to get in at that position is always a good plan. Are you more hero RB these days? Have you liked some of those combinations, or you just kind of want the board to come to you?
Like getting 2 of the guys in these round 2, round 3, when you start with like a Puka Nacua or Jamar Chase feels pretty good and pretty safe. But also like pulling up one of those receivers that go towards like the end of the 3rd round, early 4th round feels pretty nice too and unique.
Are you at all interested in a triple, a double Cincy, or would you be?
I think I would lean towards AJ Brown right here, just because I don't think we would get Burrow with the Chase drafter on the other side of us. If we were at 4 and we got Puka, I think I would definitely be Higgins, but I love some AJ Brown here.
My preference of receiver in the 3rd round is 100% AJ Brown. So you don't have to convince me. And I've been trying, now that Drake May has been falling a little bit, I've been trying to get that stack with the like first crossed hope that we get that trade. Because I am in full belief AJ Brown is not going to be an Eagle next year. I might be wrong. Howie Roseman is the best GM, and maybe he finds a way to make it work. But AJ Brown is fed up, and last year's stats were like a career low, basically. I think they could get such a big return if they trade him away. I expect it to happen on draft day, basically, but I just don't think Brown is going to be an Eagle.
I heard something recently that if it's gonna happen, it would happen like within the next 10 days to 2 weeks. Hey, Bryson Anderson, nice profile picture, man. Hell yeah, dude. That's
Perfect
my
for
boy.
this thumbnail I had today.
Hell yeah, man.
And
Hey,
Nuketown Kid.
Nuketown Kid made a stream. That's what's up, man. He's been missing my streams lately, so I'm glad you caught it. And I'm gonna be going live right after the stream with Nice and Blunt ends. So if you want to keep watching, head on over, and he might join me for that one too if he can fit it into his schedule.
I believe we'll have time. I'm going to try and make sure we get this one accomplished in time for your stream, and then I'll definitely be able to stick around for one more. So yeah, we'll
Hell yeah,
drop
dude.
the link. I believe it's in the description, but yeah, I'll pull that up as we're talking so I can drop it in the chat.
There you go. Look at pick 12. He's definitely reaching for his guys right there. Is he gonna go Lamar too?
That would be a bit steep for me.
I've seen it before, and he goes
I have
Terry.
seen it
Okay.
as well, but it's not my cup of tea. I'm a Lamar in the 5th, but not the 4th.
Yeah, Lamar feels like a great value in the 5th round.
He had some games last year that were just so effing bad, man. Like he fell off dramatically. Maybe it was just the vibes in the building. Like obviously Harbaugh got fired for a reason, and I don't want to assume that's just specifically linked, but like there's been a bit of a fall off from Lamar's run capabilities lately, and that's where I'm not fully convinced he's actually the QB2 this year. He's obviously in that elite class, but I don't know if he's exactly the QB2. So I prefer to get him in the 5th.
Yeah, I think that hamstring tweak definitely didn't really help him. I would take Colson Love and Origbuka here.
I agree with that. Any Adabu very much.
I can't do Scatabo. I will be very happy if I end with 0% Scatabo. Travion, I don't mind. I think there's just some better values in the 4th round. If I take him, it's usually in the 5th when he falls a bit. He has an incredibly high ceiling. I think he's a better pick than Ramondre Stevenson at value. And yeah, out of these second-year running backs, I think he's definitely at the top of that list.
He was my boy last year. I was full fading Ramondre and got a little burnt. Obviously, it kind of started to come around later in the year, but especially during the playoffs, it was just like so clear and evident. They do not trust Travion to pass protect anywhere near enough to keep him on the field. I assume that's going to improve next year, but like I'm a little bit burned by it, a little sour. So I've been, unless Travion's there like mid-5th, I don't really take him as much. Don't love the.
Yeah, even like towards the end of the season, they're playing Antonio Gibson over him, and he got like 3 carries in one of their playoff games. So
he was back in time for that?
No, not Antonio Gibson. But like in the regular season before he like absolutely destroyed his knee.
Yeah, very valid point. With that in mind, though, with the hope of AJ Brown in New England, I was going to say if Travion is there, I might be interested in take him, and then maybe hope for a Drake May. But what do you think here now that Travion goes off?
Well, if we want to think about Drake May, I think we pass on Lamar, and I like taking a chance on these rookie receivers. So give me Carnell Tate right here.
Feels like a can't miss opportunity, even if he goes to like the Browns, which would be disappointing. But like they need a wide receiver 1. They're going to be probably not that competitive for the most part. Their defense is good, but like I would still assume we have some Amari Cooper level upside, you know, when he was the wide receiver 1 there, even if he is with the Browns. It could be the Commanders, it could be the Saints hypothetically. It could even be the Chiefs potentially. Doubt it, but potentially. And maybe even the Titans give him some really big opportunity. I like Carnell Tate here in the 5th as well.
Yeah, I think the most buzz recently has been to the Chiefs because he didn't have the greatest combine. A little slower than people expected, a little shorter than people expected, and a little lighter. So I was saying for like a height, weight, speed guy, that's not really great to hear. But as far as like what you hear about talent and him being the wide receiver 1 in this class, it lines up for a solid 5th round pick.
I also just trust the Ohio State receiver
Yeah.
pretty much every year. Of all colleges to come out as a wide receiver, either Ohio State or LSU feels just
Yeah.
like a lock to smash. So
Absolutely. And I don't know if it was like number 17 or what, but kind of reminded me of Terry McLaurin a bit when like watching some highlights. I don't watch college ball, but I'll like try to get some information getting closer to the draft. And this season, I kind of just go off vibes a little bit. And honestly, I judge people pretty hard just based on their name alone.
that's, that's not the worst way to go about it. Like Juju Smith-Schuster was just so ideal. I just had to fall in love with him. But
Yeah, dude.
just take
I can't
Daniels.
lie. That's kind of one of the reasons why I have quite a bit of Makai Lemon. He's got that aura with his name, you know. He's got that dog in him too.
Well, there is the connotation of like getting a lemon car. Like that could come back to haunt you, but it definitely feels fun. I also trust USC receivers as well. USC receivers also have a pretty reliable track record. But I see both the
I
cats.
mean, his closest comp is Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I mean that turned out pretty well. Plus, just like in the NFL recently, there's been a bit of a history of kind of these like athletic slots that are also physical, just being pretty successful early on in their careers.
I mean, look at Lad McConkey. You know,
Yeah.
he fucking crushed. Some of it has to do with just the lack of other target competition. But yeah, it seems like that's a position where if you are ready, you don't need to be like improving very much over time. You're almost like right at your peak entering the NFL half the time. But
Damn,
Drake
Drake
May
May goes to
Allen
Josh
team.
Allen. Interesting.
Yeah, didn't expect that. Are you trying to force QB?
That's okay.
Falls off?
I wouldn't even mind taking Hurts just for the possibility that AJ Brown stays in Philly. I don't
We
think
do
it's off
have
the table.
I don't hate it. Definitely, neither team
Yeah.
after us has a quarterback, so I think that's probably a wise move.
Yeah, I think that feels pretty good because Caleb Williams isn't available. We don't know who Cardinal Tate's quarterback is going to be. Matthew Stafford's available later, but doesn't feel the best as my QB1.
Right.
And then right here, like
before it closes off.
this is a gross range, man.
I mean, we could pull up Dave Montgomery hypothetically, but I don't really want to do it in this tournament that's been open all February when everybody else is getting him in the around like 110.
Actually, I think David Montgomery might fit this team quite well. I'm glad you pointed that out because I've seen him go in the 50s in my drafts that I did yesterday.
I at least wouldn't expect him to be there at 94.
Yeah, needing a running back, like we're really only getting one turn of value. And so if we don't get Montgomery, we'd probably be taking one of these receivers. And then we're just playing the 1v1 game between like Ricky Pearsall and like DJ Moore, which is a really that big of a difference.
My only hesitation, like I said, is just against all the other teams in this tournament that we're getting him at 106, 110 sometimes. But if it's the right pick, it makes sense. I'm not fully convinced that Baishal Tutin's going to pay off at this price.
I have 0% Baishal Tutin so far.
You have 0?
I have 0 Baishal Tutin. I think like Jacksonville, there's no way he's going to be the RB1 in Jacksonville. I just can't see it. Whether they re-sign ETN or bring in another free agent, like I'm just betting that he is not the RB1 and he's going to fall like a rock when that happens. I've
been honestly taking a few LeQuint Allen shares in round 20 just to get a little different because LeQuint, I think, is an underrated option, especially in the passing game.
But, yeah, I know some people liked him as a rookie last year at this time of year in these drafts.
Yeah,
like a round 20 dart throw.
7th and got buried on that depth chart. But
yeah, there's honestly there's quite a few players in this tournament that I have either 0% of or like less than 2%, and I honestly don't hate it.
I think now's the time to be calling your shots and making your stances, knowing that like there's so many landmines in the ADP that we can't quite know for sure at this point in time. Like you can have high hopes, you can have strong fades, but there's going to be so much shuffling of the board and just moves being made where we just have no idea of knowing what that will be. And I think that's a right call. Like in general, I'm trying to be capped at like 22, 23. Like if I'm at 25% in the summer, I feel a little uncomfortable. This time of year, if I have some 35+% guys, I do not give a shit. I want to be planting my flag. And then I also have a few guys like you're saying that I do not click at all.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And speaking of the summer, like this is just the first wave of drafts. And if you're drafting this early, chances are you're drafting all summer. So if I'm wrong on Tootin and he just is the clear RB1 in Jacksonville after free agency, after the draft, well, I'll get my shares in the summer drafts then. And we'll
We do
play
it
it like that, which I'm totally fine with.
Speaking of guys I'm full fading, Kyle Monungai has circled back, if not for one more pick.
Uh,
But again,
I'm
the team's
probably
the team's interest
Algier
from
or
quarterback.
Pollard.
I like Pollard, but there's kind of a lot of running back options. I feel like pulling Stafford here and avoiding getting sniped is a solid move
Sure, let's do it.
because neither team has a QB.
Yeah, and I'm comfortable stopping with those two quarterbacks too if it comes to that, or at a third there later. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't mind that because even like Blake Corum, if we get him in the next round, that's not terrible. Good handcuff and has a decent floor.
are you a fan of Michael Pittman in this range at all? Are you thinking receiver in any way, shape, or form, or do you think we just get
I
another running back?
think I took my first share of Michael Pittman yesterday.
I have maybe one or two shares in like 40+ drafts. So yeah, not my favorite.
And yeah, I don't know. Tony Pollard's falling a lot, but I kind of like getting the free agents right now, just anticipating that they're going to steam before free agency. So getting like Tyler Algier or Rico Dowdle feels good to me.
I prefer Algier. I think he has a bit more upside.
Sure.
Dowdle was great, but I just I'm not really sure where he is going to land. And I feel like if he even sniffs going back to Carolina, he's not going to pay off at that price. That's kind of crowded for me.
Yeah, I haven't taken too much Rico Dowdle this year. Last year, though, he actually was my highest drafted player. I had like 35% of him in the summer drafts. I was not afraid to take him
I have
late in the
quite a few as
drafts,
well.
and I was right. So I'll
You
victory
sure
lap on that.
you sure crushed with that. His blow up games were perfect for best ball.
Yeah, like I just didn't think Chubadoo was that great and like that locked in as an RB1 going in like the fifth, sixth round. Like I barely clicked him.
What's up, Wolsmo? And FK
What's up,
Cooler's in
dog?
here as well.
What's up, dog? Yeah,
Nice to
dude,
see
my
you.
kitties are they're going wild. As you see, there's only one post left. They've tackled two of them off of the stand, and I got to win this tournament so I can buy them a new cat post, you know?
Yeah, you can't sacrifice your big board entry for a new cat tree.
No, I can afford it. I got to get one anyways, though. I'm just a little lazy right now.
My cat is she's taking a nap up off screen. I'm not going to piss her off. Sometimes she when she's in a mood, it pisses me off like crazy.
Oh man. Okay, here's a question for you about the kitties and streaming. When
Uh-huh.
you get off stream, does she just immediately come and want your attention?
There's usually maybe not my attention every time, but usually she's demanding some type of food when the stream is over. She can sometimes convince me it's even if I want to do another one that it's time to take a break. But what kind of cats do you have?
I think they're just like domestic short hair. They're
Okay.
both like rescues. One of them is a tuxedo cat. The other one's just like gray and white. I don't know the name for them, but they're brothers. They're bonded. They were found sheltering from the rain in a blackberry bush and brought in, went to a couple different foster homes. I adopted them last summer and yeah, now they're living a happy life here.
That's sweet, man. I have a Bengal, and I don't know if you know anything about Bengals. They are territorial as fuck, and there is like no effing chance I can bring in any other pet into her space. She is anytime like just like a random like dog or cat from nearby houses roams through like my patio and she sees them, she gets fucking livid and like all the hairs on her back and her tail gets fucking wide. Like she tries to double her size and intimidate him. She's funny, man. She tries to hunt birds with like her like in fake bird calls and shit.
Oh, dude, I love that, man. Like, I call them their little Berbers 'cause that's what it sounds like
Yeah,
to me.
that's a good way to describe it. Just this
Yeah,
little
yeah.
random ass noise that you can't quite tell what you're trying to do. But looks like we're coming back up. Is there I feel like we got to get back in at receiver soon.
Yeah, like, the running back range doesn't feel too great here. Um, the receivers are kinda gross too. Shakir wouldn't feel terrible on this team as, like, a floor play, although I don't have a lot of him.
I've seen him fall. I'm
Um,
kind of trying to click some Matthew Golden a little bit lately. Are you in it on
go
him at
for it,
all?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for Matthew Golden. Not someone I've drafted too much of. I've drafted him, like, when he's fallen, like, 15 picks past ADP on a team with love, and, yeah, I don't mind a few more shares, especially it sounds like Romeo Dobbs is out of there, so definitely good for our friend Matthew Golden.
That's my take on it. Where there's going to be some more opportunity. I also still think Watson is fairly injury prone. That's not like they drafted Golden round one in the first for the first time in like 25 years. They have to make that work eventually. And if you look at like historically the Packers receivers rookie season, like look at Adams. You know he was nowhere near relevant his rookie year, but it paid off later on. Are you interested in Concepcion or Higgins or anyone else? Could I
Um,
wanted to pull up.
Personally, I think Higgins is a better player, but looking at our team and the quarterbacks we have, I think there's a good chance that Concepcion could get drafted to either the Rams or Philly. So I'm happy taking him there for a potential stack.
We got it. Especially if AJ Brown leaves, they have to bring in someone. I would assume someone's coming in the trade, but yeah, I like them as a sneaky wide receiver landing spot in the draft as well.
Do you just imagine if like Philly trades AJ Brown for like a second round pick and Stephon Diggs and they just go from one diva to another? That would be hilarious.
That would feel pretty quintessential, pretty ideal for the headlines. I'm sure the Philly media would be so kind to him.
Yeah, speaking of trades or players getting moved around, Kyler Murray got released today. Any potential landing spots you think for him?
He's been rumored to Minnesota. I suppose that's possible, but the Vikings have such a bad cap situation. I don't really see them as like a huge free agency target guy unless like Rodgers takes league minimum again. But I I could see him in Pittsburgh potentially if Rodgers does not stay there. I feel like that's a sneaky spot. But I feel like if he's not in a dome, he is not going to play very well. He is not a cold weather guy. So I feel like that's also going to determine his fate and value. I've not been clicking Kyler at all, to be honest with you. He's one of my zeros.
No, I have a few shares of Kyler, but I'm a little turned off from him this year just because I'll admit it, he was probably one of my biggest misses last year. He was my second highest drafted quarterback behind Caleb Williams. I thought he was going to run more. Those were all the reports. He was another year removed from his ACL. All the talk about Marvin Harrison taking a leap. And yeah, I ate that one pretty hard.
I was almost just as out on him last year as I was this year. Like this year, it's like completely until I know where you are, I'm not clicking it at all. And last year, I just thought he was so overpriced. I felt like he was around QB 15, QB 17, just on his stat
Wow,
line.
Mike Washington.
People are getting their guys. I'm going to hopefully get some Emmett Johnson as he continues to fall, but we are on the clock.
Uh,
Um,
I think we go Shaheed here first.
I do like Shaheed.
I think he's a tier above the rest of the receivers, and I think that's the position that we need the most. We have Loveland, so I'm cool pushing tight end further.
I
And yeah, I like Shaheed a lot, especially when we have two rookies as well. He's also a guy who could just go to Philly or the Rams.
or Las Vegas, just stick with Kubiak, but definitely should probably be moving elsewhere. I kind of like Dobbins. I feel like we do need to get back in at running back sooner or later, but
Yeah, Dobbins just got taken. I wouldn't mind Rashad White up here.
he is one of my
If you
favorites.
wanted some Emmett Johnson, you could take him, but I think he's gonna fall a little bit more. And
Yeah, I
maybe
have
with the
someone like
three
him
that
there.
we have, a little floor could be good.
I agree. In Rashad White's my favorite guy to pull up at running back in this situation.
Yeah, I remember when he was going like 20 picks after Tajay Spears, and I was still taking him above him. And I'm glad that's finally flip flopped.
Yeah, it seems like people are wising up to him. He feels like one of those really valuable free agents where there's a few landing spots that would make a lot of sense for him. Like him in Minnesota, I think makes a lot of sense. Him in Washington makes even more sense. I also think if they do move off of James Conner, there's a chance the Cardinals might be interested because he did play for Arizona State in college. Maybe he wants to go back there. Hypothetical, who knows? But
Yeah, he's not like a tiny running back for a receiving guy. Obviously, a great receiver, not the best actual runner, but not bad either. Like, it wasn't too long ago when he was going in the fourth round of these best ball drafts.
yeah, man, he was one of my favorite guys coming out of college, and especially after his like breakout season, I was a believer in him. I was not very in on Bucky when Bucky was a rookie. I didn't see him as much of a threat as he actually was. So kind of missed on that, but I still believe in Rashad White.
I was actually that year. I faded Rashad White hard, and Bucky was one of my most drafted running backs. And that was also the year where I was big in on Chuba Hubbard too, when he was going around that range. And yeah, I honestly I nailed a lot of the running backs that year. Big
I,
reason why I made a lot of money.
that's I wish I had your opinion back then. I had a lot of Chuba. We would have agreed on Chuba, but I was a bit blind to Bucky's potential. I wasn't like full fading him, but not in enough. We do have a question from FK Coolers asking, "How are the two of you treating Travis Hunter? Buy low or full of void? What's your opinion?"
I've kind of been taking him only on teams where I feel like my receiver room isn't that strong and kind of as a boom bust play where if he does boom, then it's going to help this team a lot. But like when Jacksonville brought in Jacoby Myers, I don't think that was really bullish for Travis Hunter at all. The talks of what's his name, Brian Thomas, possibly getting traded, I think opens the door a little bit more. But coming out of college, I was hearing that he's a better corner prospect than he is a receiver prospect. So I'm sure he's still going to get involved on offense. They drafted him at number 2 for a reason in order to do that. I don't think they're just going to let that go completely. But in these best ball drafts, I'd rather just have full time offensive players.
I agree. I've maybe clicked him at a 3% rate, and every time the two times I've done it, I felt like I wanted to vomit. It feels like such a crowded receiver room, too many pass catchers there, and I just don't trust he's going to be on the field enough. I have essentially full faded Travis Hunter personally. Maybe later on in the summer I'll pivot, but at the moment he's just not on my board in that range at all. I know you love AJ Barner. Are you interested in tight end again, or you want to go more Pat Bryant?
Uh, I think like might sound weird, but the name that was standing out to me the most is Aaron Jones right there.
Really? Where do you think
Yeah,
Aaron
I
Jones
think
will go?
I think he could just play on like a contending team. And Chase Brown doesn't feel the best as our first running back, so kind of a similar bet to Rashad White, a guy who can catch some passes and just score some touchdowns, get some games, maybe not contribute for the whole year, but provides like some nice floor for us.
Honestly, I don't hate it, especially given where we are in the draft. I know running back is about to fall off. I don't click
And
Allen too much, so I don't.
I think I do like AJ Barner, but when we have Stafford, I really like the Rams tight ends in the next round. Oh, there goes Ferguson. That's interesting. Um, Boutte wouldn't be bad this far past ADP. DK feels like a high upside play. Tank Dell, a lot of upside right there.
We are on the clock now.
But AJ Barner is kind of hard to pass up for me right here. I love me some AJ Barner.
I think he's a fair value, and I feel like our build, the positions we need, definitely tight end is one. I don't really love the names otherwise in this range, so I'm good with AJ Barner.
Yeah, and if I mean Keyshawn Boutte could just end up in a trade with AJ Brown if that happens right there.
Right. That
But
might have
he
been
he just keeps falling more and more. He
interesting.
started at like pick 100 in this tournament.
Yeah, he's been. The thing about when this tournament opened, so much of the mindset that everyone had was on the Super Bowl, and definitely that I think impacted some of the prices. Like Shaheed has also fallen a little bit. Um, I guess not too many others, but especially Keishon Boutte, and I feel like that was just kind of mainly linked to the Super Bowl. And now I think it's overcorrected. Now I think Keishon Boutte's going too late, but I already have a ton of him, so sometimes I just keep letting him fall.
Oh, round 15 for a guy who can just get long touchdowns is a good value.
Yeah, he has a good enough skill set. I feel like some of the receiver names in this section have the ability to really pop, where they're just being slept on a little bit. And if you fade receiver long enough, you can. If you get the right ones, you can still get some good combinations.
Yeah, I agree with you, and we can still get a lot of them.
Jamie
What's up,
says,
Jeremy? Or Jeremy, Jamie. Sorry, I
"You're
messed
good."
that up. What's up, dog?
And FK Coolers, appreciate you, Coolers. Thank you very much. Nice chemistry according to Coolers.
Yeah, nice and blunt night. We got good vibes. Both West Coast guys, you know, nice chill energy. It's what happens when you live by the water, man.
I mean, we also got the cat in our
Yeah.
orbit, so we get the.
Come
Have
here,
have you ever read about like the healing frequencies of like a cat's purr?
I have.
I feel like that's a very underrated aspect of having a cat.
Oh,
Like,
dude, like, okay, whenever I get home, so where I'm sitting right now, I'm sitting on a stool and I have a rug under my stool. And this is my cat's favorite rug. As soon as I get home, my one cat, no prob Waymo, he's named Waymo after Jameson Williams. He comes and greets me at the door always. And then my other cat, Dan, named after Dan Campbell, he runs straight to this rug, just sits and waits. And then even if I take a couple minutes, he'll just sit, wait patiently. Then he'll flop down as soon as I walk over and just want his pets and just start purring like crazy. Then Momo, he'll come over and I just stick my head between them like a little sandwich and just get the double purrs, you know?
you're gonna live a long time, man. If that's your daily routine, you're gonna be one of the healthiest people around.
Hell yeah, dude.
My boy here, Torrey Horton, is available. Sadly, Tank Bigsby was taken, but how do you feel about Torrey? We also got Katron Allen falling solid. Are you interested in Katron at all, or no?
I'll let you make this pick.
I'm
Whatever
gonna
you
go
want,
with Torrey
whatever you want
Horton.
to go with.
I'm interested in Torrey.
I think if Shaheed leaves, then that's a really great value. I think if Shaheed comes back, that kind of eats into his role a bit.
Absolutely, but I also still have the same argument I convinced myself of last year that Cooper Cup is just not going to stay fully healthy. Like, especially a year extra for Cooper Cup, I feel like inevitably he's going to be missing some time, but we are back on the clock again. Are you interested in a QB at all or
I
a rookie
think
running back?
I think we just take the running back value. I
Yeah,
have a lot of Nicholas Singleton, so we can go Allen here,
let's
falling
do it.
to 195. They were teammates, weren't they? At Penn State?
Honestly, I would have to look it up.
I'm pretty sure. I know Nicholas Singleton went to Penn State, and then I think I saw recently that Katrin Allen did too.
That genuinely just escapes my my memory bank. So you could be right. I have no idea. The
I hope so.
rookies, I've
The
only like
channel let us know.
recently pivoted into like starting to get my stats done. Now that I have the combine data, I'm just like slowly sifting through so I can get my spreadsheets and compare them to the ones of years past on the rookie slates. But yeah, Katron, I have not fully, I've not gotten in on him yet enough to go deep on the data, and he's one guy I kind of forget a lot of the time.
Yeah, and look, the reason I have a lot of Nicholas Singleton, because I think his name has aura to it. I think the name Singleton looks good on the back of a jersey and sounds good coming out of an announcer's mouth. And that's literally pause. That's literally how I make a lot of my decisions. I'm not joking. Like you mentioned Bucky Irving, I was big into him as a rookie because he has a dope name.
I should have bought into him more, knowing that he landed with the Bucks. Like the Bucks have a lot of name alliteration. Like Baker is a Buck. Bucky Irving is also in that backfield.
I mean,
Among
he's got it in his name, right?
Egbuka
Like, come
is
on
also a
now.
Buck. Like those are
Oh,
the three.
damn.
I'm. Is it just the owner has some like subconscious preference, and that's what he's like pounded the table for? But they're also just really good players.
Hey, they're all good players, so maybe he's just on the same frequency as me, you know? He's just going with the vibes a little bit.
What I think happens is they're good players to begin with, and then when they get the jersey that has Buck in it as well, they're like, I'm gonna perform it to the highest of my capabilities for this
Hell
jersey.
yeah, dude. Although I do have some beef with Bucky Irving because man, he cost me about $75,000 last year on a ticket I had.
Damn.
There was one game, I think I needed him to get like 67 rushing yards or 66. He finished with like 57, and in that game, he had 2 carries for negative 12 yards.
Of
Yeah.
all of all the weeks.
Yeah, so I got some beef with Bucky.
All right, we're about to be on the clock. We need another tight end, do you think? Or do you want to go Aaron Rodgers?
I don't hate Aaron Rodgers, like a little late round flyer. There's a lot of running backs there, so I think we can get one with our next pick.
With some of the injury risk, I feel like I would like a third.
Sure.
He's my most drafted QB. I'm kind of fading Brissett. I don't think he'll be the starter. McCarthy, I still think Rodgers might be ahead of him in Minnesota. And then we mentioned Kyler. I feel like McCarthy will start the year as their guy, but he's not going to finish it. And obviously, if they bring in Rodgers, he's just done.
Yeah, I think we'd probably go with a running back and receiver with our last 2 picks. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I think with Loveland, we can fade that third tight end. It's not my. I don't think it's fully necessary.
Let's see our running backs real quick that we have on our team. Can you scroll
Oh,
up on our team?
we got Chase Brown, Dave Montgomery, Algier, Rashad White, Aaron Jones, Katron Allen.
I'm leaning Najee Harris or Brashard Smith here. One of those top 2 guys.
I'm thinking Najee over Brashard. Brashard was just so bad in pass protection, didn't stay on the field enough. Among the two, I prefer Najee. And when I take Brashard, I feel like I just need Mahomes for the stack. That's like my take on it. I'll take him every now and then, but specifically with Mahomes.
Yeah, that's fair. I have a decent amount of Brashard Smith. Just thinking like if he's just in that Jerick McKinnon role, and even if he gets 0 carries a game, but gets like 3 to 5 catches, like that's pretty valuable down here. And if he breaks one of them in a game or gets like a rare 2 touchdown game in the right week, then that can be very valuable.
He's got potential. I liked him a lot last year. I mixed him in above Kareem Hunt quite often, and so maybe I'm just a little bitter about that experience, perhaps.
Yeah, that's all good. I mean, it's round 19, round 20, so
Yeah,
chances are most of these guys are going to be zeros, but I'm interested to see because I think one of these guys going in the last 4 or 5 rounds of the draft is going to end up on the Lions. And I'm curious to see who it's going to be.
at running back, or
Yeah, it could be like Brian Robinson. You could get a Najee Harris, maybe like a James Conner. But I'm interested to see. I think one of those older guys ends up on Detroit.
they're 100% bringing someone in. I think Brian Robinson is a very very sneaky Lion upcoming. I think that's actually a very very good call. I've been kind of assuming maybe best case scenario he returns to the Niners as McCaffrey's handcuff, and then if that's the case, whoever's McCaffrey's handcuff is on arguably worth as much as like Tyrone Tracy, Trey Benson. But if he's with the Lions, he is going to absolutely pay off. I'm glad I have a lot of him if that's what hopefully happens.
Yeah, I think Trey Benson is also a 0% owned guy for me right now.
He's maybe at 1 or 2% for me. I have 1 or 2% Benson and James Conner, and I'm just assuming there will be another running back in Arizona. That's my take on it. So we're in lockstep.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And Arizona's running game was just so poor too. But when you think about like James Conner's success, this is one reason I'm kind of high on Drew Petzing for Detroit
Uh-huh.
because James Conner revitalized his career there. And this past year, I don't think you can really judge their run game because they were like signing guys off the street pretty much. And yeah, like scheme wise, they're pretty good. And then you see how Jacoby Brissett was as a pocket passer. Goff is a lot better than him. So
I That's one reason why I think your take on Laporta is going to pay off dividends. Like maybe Trey McBride is, owes so much of his production to just the Petsing system. I believe in McBride, but knowing Laporta's upside, I could see Laporta being just a huge, huge benefactor of that signing.
if
I don't know.
Laporta's healthy,
Sorry, what?
if Laporta's healthy, he can be a top 3 tight end pretty easily.
100%. Last year, that was kind of the only thing holding him back. His injuries. What didn't they kind of start in the off season? Like, didn't he kind of had a lingering injury?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of tweak something a little bit, and then that's the tough thing with these big guys,
Mm-hmm.
like it's a lot of mass that's moving around. And one guy you queued up that I've been drafting more of recently is Jalen Naylor.
I noticed on your stream last night. I was watching, and especially with the Addison concerns,
There
Naylor
he
doesn't.
goes, of course.
um, I'm not clicking Keenan very much. Who do you like here now that your boy's off the board? Any
We already have 2 rookies, so I don't know about Bryce Lance on this team. I do like Jalen Noel.
I
And
think
you know what? We can always just play the little mind game that we passed on Jaden Higgins in this draft. So maybe Jalen Noel is the guy you need.
my take on Houston's receivers until I know what they do in free agency, I'm drafting a lot more Noel than I am Higgins based on the price. I'm not fully averse to Higgins. Last year, he was my guy. I was literally, by the end of the contest in the summer, I was at like 20% Jaden Higgins in the 9th, 10th round. And boy, was I pissed about that. But like entering the draft, I thought him and Noel were actually like not very far off from each other talent wise. And with Kirk leaving, I think Noel is going to be getting so many more snaps and running so many more routes. In round 20, I think as someone being undrafted a lot, I really like Jalen Noel.
Yeah, he's taken a step up too. I think the biggest concern with him is just Tank Dell and his potential health because
Right.
it might be a little hard for him to see the field if Tank Dell is healthy. But it's also kind of hard to imagine that he plays a full season just with his size and injury history. But apparently, he was pretty healthy towards the end of last year and wanted to come back, but they held him out. So, like, expecting him to be healthy, and we could be looking back at Tank Dell being one of the best values in this draft.
It's possible. I remember when these contests opened, I clicked Tank Dell a few times, and then I was like, what am I doing? But I don't think I was aware, like you were just saying, about Tank Dell being close to back at the end of the season. I guess I didn't realize that. So,
Yeah, I read that not too long ago, which kind of made me that was like the reason I started drafting him just a little bit. I usually only have him on Stroud teams when
right.
like I'm just kind of a little desperate, or like similar to how I was talking about Travis Hunter earlier on a team where I kind of need more of a boom bust play where my receiver room might be a little weak and the difference between finishing 4th and 12th is 0. So
Yeah.
just taking a guy who, if he does smash, then it can bring my whole draft together.
I have been of the mindset there's that group of like super risky guys. Tank Dell is one of them, but like Hunter, Tyreek Hill, Ayuk, and like Tank Dell, and I guess Ridley is also kind of in that grouping a little bit. But like,
Yeah, I have 0% Tyreek Hill. I think I have 0 Calvin Ridley. And I think I have 2 Ayuk teams when he was going at like 170 or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of guys I'm fading this year, man. And I have a strong bias against older and injured guys.
mhm. I have not clicked Ridley once this offseason. And in that group, the one that I'm clicking the most has been Ayuk, but I almost exclusively try to do it when I have a Jaden Daniels team with the hope that he's with the Commanders.
Yeah, it's probably the most optimistic landing spot for him. There was also some buzz about like Pittsburgh when he was still playing with the
Mhm.
Niners,
Yeah,
um, as like some wide receiver desperate teams. But shoot, man, Ayuk and Metcalf on the same team, that's a head case right there.
I could also see a very slim chance just because there were rumors that the Patriots wanted to trade for him. That maybe like if they don't do any major swings, Maybe they add some depth with Ayuk at like a league minimum deal, but in general, Ayuk has such an uphill climb that it feels gross whenever I do it. I've taken him so many times in the past. He's still kind of has a soft spot in my heart with him, but doesn't feel good. Anyways,
Yeah, I think it's like there's a better chance that he doesn't play football again than him going to a team and being somewhat relevant because he just seems like a head case, man, and people don't want that locker room cancer.
yeah, I think he'll get one more shot, but it's going to be a league minimum for sure. And if he doesn't prove himself fast, I could see him cut by the end of training camp.
Yeah,
Let's
I definitely could.
let's review our full roster. We are in a minor time crunch, so I don't think we're going to be reviewing anybody
Hey,
else's
I can
roster.
always push my stream back 15 minutes. We're in no rush.
Okay, well, if anybody is in here with us and would like a team review, drop in the comment section. But if not, if we don't hear from you soon, we'll probably just move on to another one. But our three quarterbacks are Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, and Aaron Rodgers. So good rushing value with Hurts, and then those veterans with hopefully can stay healthy. But the value on Rodgers, I think, is nice. I love our combo at the top. Running backs, we got Chase Brown, David Montgomery, who we pulled up by 20 picks, Algier, Rashad White, Aaron Jones, Katron Allen fell almost 20 spots, and then Najee Harris also 8 picks past ADP, but that late, who cares? Wide receiver, we have Puka stacked up with Stafford. We got A.J. Brown, hopefully still stacked up with Hurts. Carnell Tate, who knows where he lands, but Matthew Golden, Casey Concepcion, Rashid Shaheed, Torrey Horton, and Jalen Noel. And then we only went with 2 tight ends. We do have Loveland, so I'm happy to only have 2. Paired with A.J. Barner, I think we got a good team, man.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think there's a lot of like potential stacks. Even like, I mean, if Jalen Hurts is unstacked, it's not the worst quarterback to have unstacked.
Right.
And we have potential AJ Brown. KC could go there. I mean, Carnell Tate could even end up on the Rams. Who knows? Like, there's a lot of potential stacks in this draft, which I quite like.
Concepcion, I think, could definitely be possibly linked to one of those 2 teams. If the Rams are actually trying to bring in another receiver, I feel like this year they will be looking for someone. They might just go later rounds though, because they hit on Puka so well. They might not care to invest such high draft. They need a corner so desperately. That's where maybe it doesn't happen. But they do have 2 first-round picks, so who knows?
Yeah, I just think the Rams are probably going all in this year,
For
like
sure.
possibly being Stafford's last year. So whatever is going to help them win the most right now, I think is where they're going to lead. But yeah, you're right. They need corner. They need secondary. I think they're probably going to try and make a move for what's that safety's name? Downs, Caleb Downs.
Right. If they could get him, Rams probably make the Super Bowl. I mean, I know they're going all in again because last time they won, the Super Bowl was at SoFi in LA, and next year it is as well. So in the building, the owner's like, this is do or die. This is the year that means the most to them. But I like that we took 7 RBs. I think the way that we addressed it, we got a bit of comfort with Dave Montgomery, thankfully. But I think with Chase Brown as our 1, I think we needed 7 for sure in this.
Yeah, I think so too. And we have like a lot of floor on this, but we have some pass catchers too. And a rookie is always nice to have in the running back room. Hopefully, he's just a guy. And if he's a 0, like pick 195. It's not going to hurt your team.
And what's nice about Aaron Jones is like his specialty throughout his career has been on the goal line and in the passing game. And that's a skill set that can really translate just like anywhere. I feel like he's one of those more coveted veterans that has stayed surprisingly healthy. Like he's the same age, if not like a little older than Kamara and Connor. And although he usually misses at least like 2-3 games, he's never going down for the year,
Yeah, and even when he came back from injury, he didn't look bad.
He was still beating out Jordan Mason. He was still by far their more talented running back, but his contract, I understand why they're going to get rid of him. Plus, we got Puka, so that's just money in the bank every week. Puka and A.J. Brown as a 1-2 feels so so
Yeah,
safe.
they can combine for 70 points any given week.
Yeah, that feels pretty nice. Would have been cool if we had Drake May with that like hope and a prayer that that's the stack we're getting. But I fully believe AJ Brown's ADP will be in the second round by a week after the draft. Like I genuinely believe he's on the rise, and according to you, he might get traded in the next couple weeks.
That's just one thing I heard. I personally think he remains an Eagle, but from the buzz that's going around, it's become more and more unlikely. I think like the contract is just tough to trade. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, but he's just so talented. Like someone's gonna want him, especially Vrabel. I'm sure Vrabel would love to have him back. That's almost like what drove Vrabel out of Tennessee, losing him in
Yeah.
the first place.
Yeah.
But
I have teams with him in the fourth round when this contest first opened. So I was saying like I will draft 100% of AJ Brown in the fourth round without a doubt.
I've never gotten him in the fourth, but damn, that maybe I should try to pass on him late third to give myself that chance.
Oh,
But
that's long gone, man. That was like a month ago.
that's never I've never seen that happen. But looks like Wilson would like a team review, but Jamie is also saying he just looked this up. A cat's purr vibrates between 25 and 150 hertz. Frequencies linked to tissue healing and bone growth.
Hell yeah, man.
Definitely the fountain of youth. Having some
I
pussy
need
around.
some of that for these pull-up streams, you know.
Yeah, 100 pull-ups was impressive, man. I was impressed.
Hey, 200 subscribers, 200 pull-ups in 2 big boards. All right,
Let's
we're gonna
go.
do it again.
Let me
We'll run it back.
let me pull up Wilson's team, and while you're giving your thoughts, I'll drop the link to your channel once again in the chat. So anyone who has not subscribed yet to Jeary, if you're watching, you can head over there. But let's pull up Wilson's team, and then I'll let you do your thing. So Wilson was at the 5. He has a 2-6-9-3 with Lamar Jackson, Jackson Dart, so double Jackson. Running backs, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren, Blake Corum, JCM, Woody Marks at pick 140, Emmett Johnson at 149, and then wide receivers, JSN Malik Neighbors, JMO Quentin Johnston, Jawan Jennings, Tank Dell, Zachariah Branch, Malik Washington, and then sniped us on Jalen Naylor, but according to him, did it right before you mentioned him. And then at tight end, did wait, wound up with Isaiah Likely, Theo Johnson, and TJ Hawkinson. What are your thoughts?
I don't know what he's talking about, a butcher team. I think that's a pretty nice construction right there. The only thing I would probably change is instead of a 9th receiver, I think I would go with another running back. When you start with, what was it, JSM, Malik Neighbors, JMO, like those are studs right there.
I did kind of feel like he invested so heavily in wide receiver, he went a little overboard on that as well. But
honestly, pretty good team, man.
Yeah, my pushback, I think you need a third quarterback. My only problem with the Lamar and Jackson Dart, not that you have an elite ceiling, but the injury risk with those two feels a little bit higher than the average person, like the average quarterback. Dart is going to be in the blue tent a lot, and Lamar has come off the field a lot recently. That's
fair. The injury risk is definitely there, but I think when you're investing that much, regardless of the names, I think you have to stop at 2. Like if I was drafting those 2, I would definitely stop at 2 myself. And you can never like predict injuries really. Plus, I mean, I personally had a couple teams last year with guys who got zeros at quarterback for like 3 or 4 weeks. I had 0 points at quarterback. They still advanced and did decent in the playoffs. Like my Brock Purdy, Jaden Daniels team, for instance, that made the Puppy 4 final.
Damn, even with 0 points?
Yeah, there was some overlapping weeks right there with 0 points. And I had a lot of Kyler Murray. So I also had teams with some of those guys and Kyler Murray who got zeros for a couple weeks, still advanced. So it's not impossible, and might as well just swing for the fence.
I guess it didn't occur to me that you could really get away with it like that. But here's something I've done. I think I've only done it twice, maybe 3 times. Tell me if you hate this. But if I'm in a situation like this, usually it's when like Jackson Dart's my QB1 and then I'm not super in love with like the QB2. I have also opted to pair him with Jameis Winston in round 20 just to lock in the Giants quarterback.
I'm not with you there.
I
I can't be handcuffing quarterbacks, man. I don't know if I can do that. But I one thing you said, I'll actually push back on. Um, I think you actually have even more wiggle room in this tournament to do that and risk the injuries because 3 out of 12 teams advance instead of 2 like the summer
Right.
tournaments.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess the Jameis Winston kind of is just for fun, kind of thing. Maybe
Hey,
in some higher,
he brings
higher.
aura to your team. He brings the vibes. That's for sure.
That's for sure. There's definitely some good vibes. But I mean, I'm sure you saw him on that Lions game. He can fucking crush, man. He can
He
drop
can
30
sling it.
points.
Yeah, dude. He caught the ball. He fucking mossed Derek Barnes. Like, oh my god, dude. I face palmed for like 3 straight minutes after I saw that. Like, what
I
are
had
we doing?
I had a bunch of Jameis Winston like daily teams that week, and oh my god, I was fucking dancing when I
Oh,
saw that
dude.
shit happen, man. That made my fucking month to watch Jameis Winston score that touchdown.
Well, I'm glad you got the joy for both of us.
Oh, I had more than just for both of us. I could have shared it with everyone watching, man. I was so happy. It was so fun.
That's okay. This year is our year.
I
I'll
think
see
you
you in
guys
the
did
Super
better
Bowl.
last year. I do. You have a fourth place schedule as well. That's definitely going to pay off.
Oh, dude, the schedule is so juicy. So juicy.
That's what I think really held you back last season with the Lions' chances. Like, wha- what do you what are you hopeful for in the draft with the Lions? Let's just spend a little couple minutes on specifically the Lions. What
Honestly, in the draft, same thing I said about Dan Campbell earlier. In Brad Holmes, we trust. So whatever he thinks is best for the team, that's what we're gonna do. But I think O line is definitely gonna be a priority for sure, more than anything.
I mean, they've hit on so many draft picks. Like when you put in context the Stafford trade and how that's worked out for them, like literally could not have gone better with like who they have brought into the team. And like obviously maybe you missed Stafford at the time, but I feel like I don't think anyone regrets that trade on either side.
No, it was a win-win. And honestly, for Lions fans, like seeing Stafford actually win a Super Bowl his first year out of Detroit, we were all happy for him. There's
Right.
no way you could be upset. But
Yeah.
yeah, Brad Holmes, his first draft with the Lions, 2 future Hall of Famers, in my opinion, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're both on that trajectory.
Who do you think
So
is your biggest competition in that division?
shoot. Not the Vikings. I hate the Vikings. Fuck the Vikings. Although we always play like shit against them. I think it has to be the Bears,
Uh,
but we have the Bears number. The Packers always play us well. Dude, honestly, to be honest, they're all pretty even. Like
it's one of the flattest, most competitive divisions, if not the most in the
I
league.
still think Detroit's the best team in that division. Like bias or no bias, that's what I think.
I think the schedule is what led to the outcome last year. Where like if the Bears had the Lions schedule last year, there was no way they would have finished. What was it, 12 wins or 11 at the top? Like, and then it was so flat. You finished fourth with 9 wins. Like that never fucking happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think we had the second hardest schedule last year or third hardest, one or the other. And that's why I wasn't drafting David Montgomery last year that much. Even though I love him as a player and as the Lions, I just thought the game script would be tough and the run defenses we played would be tough. So
Are you an Isaac Tisla believer or not really as much?
in real life, yeah, I think he's a great player, very talented. In best ball, I just don't see enough opportunity really for him to make a big impact, barring like an injury. But as like a red zone threat in real life, he's great. And he's fucking huge, dude. He's like 6'4", 220. Like he's a big dude.
Yeah, for him to fall to third round in like full context feels a little crazy, but like with their track record, especially, I'm sure that's going to pay off long term. I Part of me kind of feels like Jamison Williams has given them a few too many headaches to where like there's a bit of a plan for Tesla to maybe replace JMO next year. But this year, unless I have Goff, I don't really feel like taking Tesla is going to always hit in the best way.
I
But
don't know about that. Like, I think JMO's a little misrepresented. Like, I think he's taken a lot of growth and a lot of steps forward as he's gotten older and become a man instead of, a kid in the league. And he seems like he's got his head on straight and responsible now, or else they wouldn't have paid him like a 3-year, 27 mil a year contract at the start of last year.
That's fair. I felt like that suspension did kind of shake him into high gear a little bit.
Yeah, like he came into the league with a torn ACL, and then he had his gambling issues, and then nothing came of it. But there was he got pulled over and had a gun in his car, so there's all this speculation and character concerns. But the team loves him.
When he did that, I think it was against the Niners, if I'm not mistaken. He scored a touchdown and then just started humping the ground.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
That's the most hilarious fucking
hell yeah, man. We fuck over here. Yeah, dog. JMO, hey, JMO don't give a fuck. He dunked it too. He full on jumped on the goalpost, I'm pretty sure. And humping the ground was so fucking funny. They were going full belt to ass and something.
Yeah.
And the Lions have some of the best celebrations, man, without a doubt.
They're hilarious, bro. They're one of my favorite teams to watch that are not my personal team. They got a similar shade of blue, so I can sometimes just convince myself I'm watching the AFC Chargers. But
yeah, even when they sucked, they were entertaining.
Same thing with the Chargers, man. Whether they win or lose, it is one of the most entertaining games that you will watch, regardless of outcome. But
hell yeah.
With that in mind, let's get back to our second draft.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll see if I can just get in on the website. It's been a while. I'll try it. I hope this doesn't fuck with me, but I am in the big board ready to go if someone wants to join. We'll hit enter, and I'm not getting the location error. 8 spots left. All good.
Nice.
Sometimes I feel annoyed to pull it up on my phone.
I'm just changing the start of my stream to 6:15. I think that'll be a good time.
I think absolutely that will start on time. If you stick with 6, we might go over by 5 minutes, but that'd be my guess. We'll probably be done with this at 6:05.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
We'll go 6:15. That's fine. I don't want to rush. What's 10 minutes?
Yeah.
15
When
minutes.
I saw you're going at 6, originally I told you 4:20, 4:30. I was like, I'll do 4:15 just to give myself a little extra momentum.
All right. And I hope you join because I put your name in the title now.
Yeah, I will definitely join, man. And I'll at least have my camera this time.
I think we draft some pretty good teams together. So hopefully we can keep that going.
Even when we aren't on the same roster, the lobbies when we've been in at the same time, we have both had really, really phenomenal teams.
Yeah, we did have that one draft where the rest of the lobby kind of just sucked, and both of our teams felt pretty great.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I remember that one specifically where didn't that team take Allen and Trey McBride at the 12 and 13, and you were instantly, thank you for your donation, team.
Yeah,
12.
dude, I'm a grateful person. I like thanking people when they kindly donate because this is how we make money. Some people have to pay the rake, some people have to give us the EV. So I'm grateful for all that, my friend.
Oh, as I'm writing the name here, I just adjusted the name of our team. I'm realizing it's March 3rd. We got the 3-3 portal. Today's was an eclipse. Excellent omen.
Great omens. We love the vibes, man.
I noticed you had some sage burning on. Oh shit! No, we're drafting with coolers. Oh,
yeah, dude. Fuck. I saw some sickos in this one, dude. Danimo's in here too.
Coolers is the team that scares me the most.
Yo, okay, my favorite clip. I don't know if you've seen it, but when my cat Dan, he tackled the post. FK Cooler's comment was on the screen, and now that's just in my outro forever. So
I was watching when
he holds a special place in my heart.
I was watching when that happened. In the moment, that was so hilarious because you were just throwing for a loop, but then once you fell, it was just icing on the cake.
I'm so glad I got that on video, man. That was funny, dude.
Can I interest you in mixing it up here? How would you feel about a CeeDee Lamb George Pickens combo, or do you hate that?
Oh, I can't do that.
Okay, who do you want?
I can't do that. Can we go with the thumbnail guy?
Let's do it. Absolutely. Yeah, should have. Of course.
I feel like we gotta go with the thumbnail guy.
I can't believe I forgot. Yeah,
Speaking
definitely.
of omens, man, it's a good omen. And yeah,
100%.
dude, I don't know. I thought it'd be funny at the start of the stream yesterday to cleanse the air and burn a little sage just to um yeah, get some good omens back from being lied to and gaslit by David Montgomery and his agent. We
What did
don't
they
deserve
say?
that. Well, I mean, we've been hearing for like months now, even like towards the end of the season last year, that David Montgomery could very well be out of Detroit. And then literally 2 days ago, the day before he got traded, um, there was like some reporter or something put out a tweet saying, yeah, Demo says he wants out of Detroit. And then Demo quote tweeted that and was like, oh, Demo said that? Kind of just like downplaying it. And then all these reports came out. Dave Montgomery's staying in Detroit. He's a lion, refutes any trade rumors. And then the fucking very next day. But if anyone knows David Montgomery, he is a troll like no other. So I kind of respect it to an extent. But yeah, we're sad to see him go.
Well, it usually applies to the draft and all of those decisions, but this is smokescreen season. This is lying season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if the Giants are doing that with like these running back talks, because you hear them about like Jeremiah Love and like Kenneth Walker rumors and stuff like that. I wonder if that's a smokescreen or that's legit. And that's kind of what my thumbnail is about for the next video. So maybe we can talk about that on my stream a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I feel like the Giants just have to go offense. They have so many defensive pieces, and I think they might be losing Wandale. Like if they have Darius Slayton as their number two, like they're fucked. They need to be addressing offense a little bit. But how you feeling about this next pick? We're on the clock.
Oh, I don't
I
mind
don't
a
hate,
Malik Neighbors here.
I don't hate that at all. We just mentioned the Giants starting elite wide receiver Amon-Ra Neighbors feels like a very safe.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm not convinced Neighbors is going to be great to start the year, but we're playing for week 17, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, I don't hate that because maybe we can get a running back to fall to us at 30, hopefully. I think that would be the optimal scenario. If it wasn't Neighbors for me, it would be Chase Brown and then try and get AJ Brown for some Browntown action.
Mm-hmm.
I have one team like that actually that I did on purpose, and I really liked how it turned out. So I'm glad I have that in my portfolio.
Our last one was actually a Browntown. Now that you mention it,
Hell yeah, dude. Browntown.
is there any chance we're going triple receiver with AJ Brown if we get sniped on running back hypothetically? But ideally, running back,
I mean, I'd be down.
I wouldn't hate it.
I think we can make anything work. We're 4 picks away. I think if one of these running backs is there, we take them. But if not, I'm down for AJ Brown.
I think if we're stuck with Breece Hall versus AJ Brown, I'd rather go AJ Brown. But Breece does get taken. I mix in Allen every now and then. I never hate it. Never gonna hate it. But I assume
I don't have too much Allen, but I feel like I need to start taking him a little bit more.
Allen goes.
And he goes.
Not today. Are you Bucky or Kenneth Walker?
I'm Kenneth Walker over Bucky Irving personally.
Same. At this moment in time, I'm the same. So are you Walker or AJ Brown? You want to go 0 RB? I'm not as excited about that.
I'm with Kenneth Walker right here.
All right, let's do that. Yeah.
I've heard some people not liking the value on Kenneth Walker, thinking he's overvalued, but man, he could also end up on the Giants and be teammates with Malik Neighbors. And what we've seen recently is when running backs go to a new team in free agency, they do pretty damn good their first year. Think about Derrick Henry, think about Saquon, and even Joe Mixon when he went to the Texans. Like a lot of running backs, when they go to a new team, like that team doesn't seem like they're afraid to use him and manage their touches very much.
Mm-hmm. Even DeAndre Swift, first year with the Bears, not bad. Tony Pollard wasn't bad at all. First year with the Titans either.
James Conner with the Cardinals.
And then Walker is just much more talented than all three of those. Maybe not as much over Connor back in those days.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're drafting Kenneth Walker as running back 16.
Yeah, that
Like,
feels
I think
real.
there's a very high possibility he finishes higher than RB 16. I think he definitely has top 5 range of outcomes, in my opinion. If he stays healthy and just doesn't get absolutely cucked by Zach Charbonnet or whoever,
We at
what
least know
team
that's
he's
not going to
on.
be the case for 2 months minimum. With if he stays in Seattle, like Sharbs is not going to be ready until I think Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe like you just get Cam Scatterbo doing that to him if he goes to the Giants, but
That's a similar
the fact
situation.
that they're talking about running back so much makes me a little less optimistic. I'm Smith right here. We passed on AJ Brown, so I kind of like getting Smith.
I do like Smith
And
is my only other option. We took Loveland last time, so I'm not really trying to get Loveland again. But I like Devontae Smith.
yeah, reason I like Devontae Smith right now, and I want to try and draft more of him at this point in the year, is because if AJ Brown does get traded in the next week or two, where's Devonta Smith going? Like, is he going above Olave? Is he going above Pickens? Is he going above Nico?
I think he's going right in line with T. Higgins.
I think he goes before T. Higgins because he's a clear wide receiver one. Depending
Maybe,
on what they get back in a trade, Philly doesn't have the best pass offense, but
yeah, that's my
in
take.
games when AJ Brown was injured, like Devonta Smith is no stranger to 10 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I remember this because I said it so many times last year, but heading into last year, so if we look at 2024, in the games when AJ Brown was out, Devontae Smith averaged 17.3 half PPR points per game, up from like 12 and a half when he had AJ Brown on the field. His fantasy points, he had an extra 5, and 17 and a half points is like in line with a top 5 receiver on a full year basis. Like he has that true elite ceiling if AJ Brown
Yeah,
doesn't.
he's that dude. And I mean, they have a new offensive coordinator. I'm sure he's going to be better than Kevin Patullo. And rumor has it he wants to use AJ Brown a lot. So if AJ Brown gets traded, I'm sure he's going to use the fuck out of Devonta Smith.
Well, him and Hurts have such a good chemistry. We get sniped on Lamar. Do you like DeAndre Swift in this round? I like him, but I'm also fine with a receiver, whatever you like.
We can go DeAndre Swift. I don't have a ton of him. Kind of feels like a bit of a floor play, a little less ceiling, but just looking at the running backs, and I feel like we can get a decent receiver in the next round.
Similar to what you were saying about Ken Walker, where we're drafting him at 16, and that feels like the worst case scenario. Swift is RB 24 off the board, and it's been like, I believe, 4 or 5 years straight where Swift has finished as a top 20 running back on a per game basis. And
Yeah,
at the
he
end of the
catches
day,
passes too. And a Ben Johnson offense is always good. The one
exactly.
thing, like, I think it's just him being a former Lion and him sucking ass on the Lions and then being good everywhere else just makes me hate him. But I need to get that bias out of the way. Maybe I should burn a little more sage and cleanse that takeaway.
Well, his problem with the Lions is they couldn't stay healthy. Like there was the year when you had it was before you had a running backs coach that was a former running back, and the name is evading me, but he used to be like an all pro, and this was like maybe year
Oh,
one
I
or
know who you're talking about.
when they had
I'm blanking too.
yeah, it was before they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, but Swift started the year where he looked in the first 2 games capable of averaging like 22, 23 points per game. He was fucking crushing and then instantly got hurt, and it was just the same old story. And they got fed up. Once he moved to Philly, it feels like he got humbled because of that. And ever since, he's stayed healthy. So I view Swift as a bit of a tier break in terms of safety net at running back. He's my favorite in the fifth.
Yeah, he could never like hit a hole in Detroit and like make his mind up. And look where Dave Montgomery goes. So I think we got him at a good value in our last draft.
Yeah, Coolers pulled him up. That definitely that definitely makes me more comfortable to pull up Montgomery if Coolers was willing to do it. But Tyson has fallen a little bit, or do you want a QB?
I think we take Tyson here just for the ADP value.
Uh-huh. We could go
Like, there's a
Jackson
chance
Dart.
Jalen Hurts comes back to us. If you want Jalen Hurts, we can get him.
I
But
don't.
we also have Jackson Dart available. We also have Jared Goff available. So
I
I
prefer
think
the
we're pretty open there.
Yeah, I prefer the falling value on Tyson because we can get Dart in the next round and then get Goff 2 rounds later, and that'd be a ideal start in terms of stacking.
Yeah, I mean, my most drafted receiver just went off the board, Parker Washington. I have 35% Parker Washington.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
I gotta push back on that, man. That's too much for me.
Yeah, talk me out of it because I'm having a hard time poking holes.
I mean, it's relevant with pretty much every Jacksonville receiver. It's most relevant with like why I don't draft Travis Hunter, but like it's just so crowded there. And a lot of his success was correlated with Brian Thomas injury, Travis Hunter's injury. Like I like him. I don't think he's gonna be the worst pick ever, but like where he goes compared to the quarterbacks that you're gonna miss out on, I'm happy to take him over Ramondre Stevenson. I think that's fine. But like, I if there's one receiver I'm trying to be overweight on in Jacksonville, it's Thomas. And then I also think we've kind of hated as a community on Jacoby Myers a little bit too much. I think he and Myers should be going like back to back, and then Myers sometimes falls to pick like 90, 95 at times. So
Oh,
that's
Jackson
where,
Dart goes. Damn,
yeah, that's a
that's unfortunate. Honestly though, like maybe you can be the one to take this bet for me, but I think Parker Washington outscores Brian Thomas straight up.
I will take that bet. How much you want to lay down?
You know, I
Make this
saw
pick. Let's
let's
make this
make our
pick.
pick first. Shoot, this is a little tough right here.
We
I
could
think we
go.
push quarterback. If
I
you
mean,
want to take Herbert, we can get some backstacks.
we
I
could.
wouldn't mind a Ricky Pearsall, which would open up Brock Purdy in the next round.
Let's do that.
Just
The,
getting really solid at
our receiver.
receiver. And I think there's a tier break after him.
I agree.
But Parker Washington, man, like cut on the tape, man. Just watch his highlights from last year. He's that dude. Like he
He's
was
good.
making plays in so many different ways. The amount of contested catches, the amount of red zone targets, deep shots, he got like plays from the line of scrimmage. He was getting rush attempts. Like he's Trevor Lawrence's go-to guy, it seemed like.
They also had an injury with Brenton Strange lingering as well, and there's just so many variables. I don't hate him. I do draft him, but there's no way I'm going to be at 30% like you are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to take my shots. Plus, with the Brian Thomas rumors of him getting traded, like where's Parker Washington go if Brian Thomas gets traded?
That's a fair point. He'd be pulled up probably in the Christian Watson range at minimum. But my only question for this bet: does Brian Thomas have to stay in Jacksonville for it to
I
hold?
think that would be fair. Yeah, contingent. Brian
Yeah.
Thomas stays in Jacksonville, and I saw Tyler and off the Schneid. Damn, Goff goes too. What is going on with these?
That's full. That team has
That's
JMO.
way early. Well,
That
he
is
knew
early.
that we were going to take him.
And
I'm
then
sure.
Laporta goes.
Yeah.
That's
But I think Brock Purdy's our next pick right here.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Wait,
Trevor
do we
Lawrence.
have no, do we have any Jacksonville receivers? I don't think so.
You don't, but we
I
can
think I would rather go with Brock Purdy and get the stack.
Purdy.
I
think
really don't think they're that different.
I want to go Lawrence with the value and get Purdy in the next one.
Okay, go for it.
Because
I'm not sure if Purdy makes it back to us. I see a lot of teams take him when they're desperate for a quarterback at the turn, but
I know this side is not that desperate. So it's just it might happen for sure, but I know the McCaffrey team is right behind us on our next pick. And in terms of ADP, Brock Purdy is closer to 102 than 91.
Maybe this is a team where we could get Travis Hunter too. As like if he's gonna smash, then our receiver room is absolutely amazing.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like this is a scenario where our receiver room is so good, I'm not relying on Travis Hunter. It's worth mixing in, but I feel pretty confident, barring just someone getting desperate. I do think Purdy's gonna make it to us. I really do.
Yeah. What I was saying though, off the Schneid and Tyler, they had a stream for the Canada versus US hockey game for a bigger board, and I think that's a pretty fun bet to make. The loser pays for it and does it on whoever's channel, and then you just split the EV. I think that's a pretty fun bet.
So a bigger board paid for by the loser of this bet. Deal. Baker gets taken. Purdy's there, man. Like I said,
Okay, I'm cool with it. I respect it.
love that
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
because we got such a good price on Lawrence, bro.
Yeah, I think there's not that big of a difference really between Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy.
No, I would.
And at value, I think Brock Purdy 2 rounds later feels pretty good. But yeah, the
I
value on Lawrence is nice too.
I do think this tier of quarterback in round 9 with Stafford, Purdy probably my preferred one of the group, but Mayfield, Purdy, and Stafford in this 9th round. I wish like if you could somehow pair up 2 of them at the 9-10 turn and you push quarterback until then, I think you probably win the quarterback room in terms of value and like effectiveness in your roster. Like all 3 of those could be top 5 QBs, and they're just not being respected that way, like the rest of the group.
Yeah, this is a team where I'd probably feel more comfortable with the third quarterback. We'll see who comes to us, but if it is just 2, then that's fine as well.
I would probably lobby for a third as well, but I like that we got Lawrence at that price. In all honesty,
Yeah, it definitely worked out well.
we
Baker
probably
even gets
get
pulled
in
up.
on running back soon. We only have Walker and Swift.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. If we're gonna push anything, it's gonna be tight end.
Yeah, I say we try to get Strange. Maybe Kittle's going to get pushed as well. Probably not, but
Yeah,
I think
Strange falls
one
pretty
is
often.
Gadsden is falling.
Let's take a look at the available running backs. Yeah, it's thin, man. Oof.
I'm thinking maybe Kenny G, hoping for a nice spot, and then maybe grab a Tyron Tracy in the next round.
Tracy's someone that's been falling a lot too. I'm cool with Gainwell here. Gives us like a decent floor, and it can even open up a possible Aaron Rodgers stack at the end of the draft. Just assuming they both go back to Pittsburgh. I
I
I,
think
I would go against Tyron Tracy just because I've seen him fall to like 150 recently.
that I haven't seen that. I've seen him fall to maybe like 140, 144, but I never see him in the 13th round.
Yeah, that
That'd
was
be
on my
awesome.
stream yesterday, just with the news like that the Giants could be going running back.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, which I've drafted a pretty sizable amount of Tyrone Tracy just because I've been fading Cam Scatterbo. Yeah, Deuce Staley.
Yeah.
That's the running back coach I was thinking of.
Also, Bukowski with a question. You think a Lions Chargers Super Bowl is live?
I mean, if the Chargers can avoid choking.
I
But same
mean,
thing goes for the Lions, man. So,
that would be
they're
one of the
pretty
most.
similar AFC, NFC teams.
That'd be a very yeah. We both neither of us have won a Super Bowl, so
I think the
both of
Chargers,
us can
like
avoid the choke job.
the AFC is pretty wide open as far as who can make the Super Bowl.
No, Chargers had a shot last year if their tackles were healthy, but if Herbert cannot win if he can't win a single playoff game, I'm gonna be out on Herbert. Man, he's starting to get.
I wouldn't mind a George Kittle as our first tight end right here. We have Purdy.
I don't hate it either. Is there any running back you're dying for or no?
Not really. I got JCM at pick like 145 yesterday. Woody Marks has been falling to the next round. Tracy's been falling to the next round. So I don't think any of these running backs are great values right now. And I'm not super high on Kittle, but I think it makes sense on a Brock Purdy team and a team where we're probably going 3 tight ends anyways.
For sure.
Like I think baseline structure for this team is probably a 3-6-8-3. If I had to think about it.
If we were forced to,
Or
we could get away
7-7.
with 2 QBs.
Yeah,
but
I'm totally fine 2 quarterbacks as well.
yeah, let's see how the board goes. But if we're stuck with Rodgers in the final round, that's also fine. I feel like running back is probably the biggest thing to address unless we grab Strange in the next round.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Brenton Strange.
Is Mason
Jordan Mason's decent too.
I know
This
you.
running back range feels so gross.
I have some faith in Dobbins. In all honesty, I just really need him to return to Denver for that to work out, and that's not a guarantee, of course. I have a lot of him already, so I don't. I've been trying to cool it lately. But I do like Dobbins. I think Dobbins is a fine early season producer given his yards per carry efficiency.
He's younger than expected too. Like he's like 26.
Yeah, he's just
It
missed.
is
He's had so many
surprising.
injuries. It feels like he's a lot older, but he's. I think he just turned 27.
Yeah. I thought about this randomly earlier today. Um, who feels like an older running back? David Montgomery or J.K. Dobbins?
I know the answer is Montgomery, but how it feels, definitely Dobbins.
Right? Isn't that interesting? Montgomery's
Yeah.
like 29, but Dobbins feels like an old man compared to him, which I think is bullish for Montgomery in Houston because he didn't get used to his maximum potential the last couple of years. So even though he's older, like I think it's pretty good.
Dobbins goes. Are you trying to get Strange or for
I'm
this?
cool just locking up the tight end right here.
I
I
like
wouldn't
that.
mind Woody Marks either,
I
honestly,
feel like
but I have way too much of him. So
I feel
I'm
like
cool with
Mark's.
Strange. If you want to get Mendoza, we could do that too. But
Nah,
I think just locking up a tight end here who's going to produce at the start of the year when Kittle's not. And then we have both of our quarterbacks stacked up with tight ends. That always feels pretty nice.
yeah, pretty solid strategy. I would have been fine if we had Strange as our tight end one without Kittle. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Our receiver room is loaded. I'm glad we have Swift for the floor, but
Yeah, that was a good pick in hindsight.
running back is going to be critical as we move through these next coming rounds. I think we should be disregarding ADP at running back in the next.
Yeah, I think we take one of those top 4 running backs right there.
Ideally, I'd go Rashad White, but at that price, I wouldn't be fully opposed to Woody Marks. I think we could also maybe get cute with Mike Washington. I feel like at 150, it's fair game. But I also
Yeah, I
like
think my
Tajay.
preference for this team would be Rashad White. There's a lot of guys listening to this who are before us, so hopefully they don't take him.
Yeah, we'll see what
But
Ball does. But he has 5 running backs. I don't think he's going to be sniping it. The team in front of us, Big Daddy 7-5, has 3 as
what'd you call
well.
him?
That's his. I called him by his name. It's like when someone has preferred pronouns. The easiest thing to do is just call them by their name when you're not sure.
Yeah, yeah. No problem. I'll call you Big Daddy. It's all good.
I mean, sadly, he's the 75th. 7,592 are ahead of him in the pecking order. So
There's a long line of Big Daddies in this world.
yeah.
Pause.
Are we Rashad White here or Mike Washington?
I would lean Rashad White. Man, Mendoza's a good value too, but I think we need the running back.
I think we need.
Although I really wouldn't hate trying to. No, I think we need White.
Dallas Goedert is a good value, but I think our running back room just requires that we take.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert's a good tight end. I think he just peaked in his career last year, and he's had like injury history pretty much every year.
I like him a lot for spike week potential, but injury risk is always in the back of my mind where I'm not like trying to force it all the time. He's falling almost 20 picks if Coolers doesn't take him here. Yeah, he's about to fall 20 picks.
Yeah, and that's like pretty common. I see that with Strange too. Like these guys fall a lot.
I feel like this is a interesting range of the draft where there's a few hidden gems, but obviously everyone carries the absolute zero risk as well. Like you can't feel fully confident, but there's also some names that I like in this section of the draft.
Yeah, and this is where you want to take your shots, right? Like we're in the second half of it, and a lot of these guys are going to be heroes or zeros.
I do not like Jerry Judy at this price, though. Have you drafted Jerry Judy much?
Only on like teams where I'm drafting him probably as like my wide receiver 5. And I think probably the bullish case for him is if he goes to another team. If he's in Cleveland, it doesn't feel that great. But if he gets cut or traded, then I think that could be a pretty good value. But I don't have a lot of him, no. I'm definitely underweight.
Yeah. The only time I vividly remember taking him was on a draft with Huhames, and he fell to us at like 173.
Yeah, I see him in the 170s pretty frequently, and I'll definitely take him there.
Yeah, there
He
is
can
fine,
just be
but
good.
yeah, before 160, I'll pass.
I'll definitely take him above Brandon Ayuk.
That's fair. That's fair. What position do you think we need to grab on this next? Are you Omar Cooper Jr.? Maybe
Yeah,
not. Coolers was definitely not going to let that happen.
fucking coolers, man. Is that what the FK stands for? Fuck.
It definitely is. 100% it is. But I think Jonathan Brooks is sneaky here as well.
I'm cool with Jonathan Brooks. I really don't have a ton of him, and on a team like this, I feel like it makes sense.
I feel like, is being a little slept on because of how injured he's been. But if he hits, I liked him a lot entering that draft season. I felt like he was the only one that was like clearly going to hit. I was obviously too low on Bucky Irving, but otherwise that draft class sucks, and maybe he just stays hurt forever. But I'm sure they have plans for him. He was a second round pick.
Yeah, I think the only thing with Jonathan Brooks is like this is the NFL. The NFL stands for not for long, and
Right.
these guys are very replaceable. He's done absolutely nothing in his career, and if I'm like the Panthers GM, I would have a hard time betting on Jonathan Brooks staying healthy and being like our RB2, possibly getting the RB1 role. Of course, like in a fantasy world, you want to envision that and hope he finally lives up to his potential. But from a realistic standpoint, I don't see how he enters the season even as their RB2.
I'm optimistic. I liked him at the time, but it's definitely risky. There's a reason they extended Chuba Hubbard like instantly when Chuba started to look good. They were like, this Brooks situation might be,
Yeah, that was a big contract too.
yeah. Um, but looks like Charbonnet's circling back. Aaron Jones is there. Do you like Isaiah Likely? I don't hate it.
As our third tight end, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
cool with
still like
Likely.
the RB given how
What's a receiver look like though?
our
I think
receiver
Dell
room
might
is
not
so
be bad
loaded.
on this team.
Wide receiver is so loaded. I'm fine taking Likely
Okay.
because we can still get a few. Like we can stop at 7 with like another pair of rookies, honestly, and I think our receiver room is pretty good.
Yeah, I did that a lot last year, actually. Just like 7 tight end build or 7 receiver builds. And I didn't really like them that much. When I was looking back on the teams later in the season or like as the season was going, it ended up feeling quite thin. I think it's pretty easy for us to convince ourselves that the 7 receivers that we have are going to be great. But in 20 round drafts, I think 8 is pretty good to get unless you're getting 7 pretty much by round like 15, in my opinion. Just because like 3 receivers have to hit your lineup each week. That's almost half of our room. And then if we're drafting 7, we're assuming we have strong receivers, and chances are they could hit our flex. So that's like over half of our receivers that we want to be playing each week. And they're just not as consistent as we'd like them to be.
That's a good point, especially with the 20th round. I think that's very valid.
And then thinking about the finals, like 558 teams. And receivers is probably where you're going to get the most separation at this point in the draft. Just think
Mhm.
about Alec Pierce from last year or Marvin Mims from years past. Even Ricky Pearsall from a couple years ago in week 17, like guys that you're getting down here that can just hit your lineup, like a Trey Tucker this year, who can get 40 points in any given week.
Mhm. Would We have 5 rounds left, and we have 5 receivers. You want 3 of them to be that position.
Most likely, unless like, yeah, I would think so.
I think we need another 2 running backs. So you think we're just done with Lawrence and Purdy?
I
Given
mean, I think we've made our bed there. Like we both have them. We have Lawrence stacked with Strange, and then we have Purdy double stacked. So we're kind of in pretty heavy on those offenses. If we want like an Aaron Rodgers late, we can go there, but I don't think it's quite necessary. And
yeah, I
especially
don't
with 3 out of 12 advancing, a lot of people are really desperate for these 3 quarterbacks, but you really do have a little more wiggle room to stop at 2.
I was optimistic we'd get Tank Bigsby, but he did get taken by Terminator.
Man, I love Trey Tucker right here.
I think that's a pretty good click as well.
I think as your wide receiver 6, like right now, he's definitely not going to be the wide receiver 1 to start their season, but right now he's their wide receiver 1. And someone, like I mentioned, who can just get 40 points in a game, that it's happened before. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to happen again, but the upside's there.
Well, he's not going to disappear, and especially they were willing to move off of Jacoby Myers. Granted, it's a new coaching staff now, and they have, I believe, the most cap space, if not like the second most of any team other than the Titans. They're bringing in some competition, but I'm not convinced that Jack Betch is going to be beating him out. I'm not convinced Dante Thornton has a leg up on him. And so a rookie, even if he comes in, might take a while to get going. We know they're not drafting rookie round 1, but I would assume perhaps round 2 is also like offensive linemen. They need that pretty badly. Like there's a world where they, other than like free agency, there's no like real rookie threat until like the 4th or 5th round by the Raiders in the draft.
Yeah, regardless of who they bring in, they're going to bring a free agent. They're probably going to get someone in the draft, but what he brings to the table, his skill set is just valuable no matter what. And
almost on the clock.
I kind of like Branch here or Flournoy.
I prefer Flournoy, but I don't hate Branch.
I wouldn't hate Nicholas Singleton on this team too. I don't think we have a rookie yet at running back.
We do not. We only have Tyson in terms of rookies.
Receiver does get a little thin.
I'd be willing to go Singleton.
I'm cool with Singleton.
Singleton?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Let's do it.
I like getting at least one rookie running back late in the draft. Just take your shot. Like, it doesn't even matter who. Like, you don't need to be picky, or they're all landing spot dependent, really. And if you just get lucky and draft the guy that ends up in a good spot with enough talent and opportunity to hit your team and on the right team, then that can win you the contest.
Sorry, I just noticed this comment from Coolers confirming our theory on what his name actually is. It says, heard a guy yell it in a card room, originally used it for online poker and never changed it. Fuck, Coolers.
Dude, I fucking called it. Hey, man, well, you're living up to the name, all right? And I mean that with all love.
That's how it was. That's how the name was conceived. It's going to be a constant theme throughout its existence.
How fitting. I mean, yeah, you got some good picks, man. Pat Bryant was good. Omar Cooper's good. Tank Dell, like at 177, feels good.
He did take Braylon Allen, though.
Braylon Allen, even at 184, feels fine.
Maybe I should mix in Braylon Allen.
But I haven't drafted him a lot, but I've drafted him when he's fallen 20 picks past ADP. Like, no problem.
Right. Yeah.
I'll draft almost any player 20 picks past ADP.
I mean, even if Breece Hall stays there, to be the handcuff is valuable in it of itself as well. Like last year, Aaron Glenn was just raving about Braylon Allen. He's still super young. He still has some potential. And I also
he's like 22.
Yeah, exactly. I also could see a midseason trade of Breece Hall as well at the deadline.
Yeah, that would not surprise me whatsoever. The game that Braylon Allen got injured in, he was looking really good. And if he didn't fumble at the goal line, then that was a breakout game for him.
Are you clicking Mixon ever? I'm not.
No, I accidentally took Mixon once, and unfortunately it was in a $100 draft. So,
Ooh.
Yeah, it was at pick 200, and it was my 7th running back, but I face palmed for a good 30 seconds after that, and that was on stream.
I'm going to take Flournoy.
Anyone wants to go watch that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. We were considering him with our last pick.
We have 2 rounds left, 2, 6, 7, 3. I know you want one more receiver. I feel like we could also use another running back.
Yeah, I'm cool with one running back, one receiver. Let's see our receiver room real quick. We got Trey Tucker and Ryan Flournoy at the end. I would feel better with 8. I like getting 8 receivers in these 20-round drafts.
I don't want Nat Ball to snipe us, but I know who I will lobby for if he is still on the board. So I'm gonna zip it. But I don't hate Claiborne.
Well, while we wait, I remember at the end of the last draft, you mentioned Keenan Allen, and I didn't get a chance to respond. But this year, I'm not drafting him.
I have not
like
drafted him either.
really at all. I think I have him on like 1 or 2 teams, but last year I had like 40% of him when he was going at the end of drafts just because I thought he was going to play and I thought he still had some left in the tank, and then I completely stopped drafting him when he was like in the high 100s.
I didn't chase him up the board up past like pick 130, but I remember when he was round 17. Yep, Natball fucking took Jeremy Bernard. Natball knew. I knew if I said it, he'd do it anyway. But I don't hate Malik Washington or Damon Claiborne. I don't.
I'm cool with another rookie running back here. Claiborne had a good combine.
Yeah, I'd be happy with Claiborne here.
Yeah, finishing with 2 rookie running backs at the end of the draft just feels nice. If one of them hit, then our team feels great.
Yeah, I like that swing a lot. We got some high hopes for Jonathan Brooks to stay healthy, but the free agents in Gainwell and White. Walker's a free agent, but I think the floor we have with Walker and Swift is going to keep us in play, and then we just need some spike weeks to work out. But our receiver room is going to contribute a lot, I think, in the flex as well. So don't hate it. Love the Kittle likely for the upside with Strange as floor. And then our QB room, we got the awesome value on Lawrence, and then the Purdy stack with Pearsall and Kittle. Feels nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a thinner quarterback room, but I'm fine with it.
Who
Because
Haynes
here's
and
my what's
Bryce
up, Who
Lance
Hames?
going to be on our winning lineup. Do you want to go Bryce Lance or any other rookie receiver? Is there a name you're
I'd be cool with Bryce Lance here.
Bryce Lance? I have not clicked him much. Sometimes I take Ted Hurst as well. Don't hate Ted Hurst. Could use a little more Chris Bell, but don't hate it. Ted Hurst does
I think
get
I
taken.
took my only share of Chris Bell on the draft I did with Who Hames.
Gotcha.
Because we actually went 10 receivers that draft, I think. And yeah, he was like, you know what? Guy coming back from an ACL, take him on a 10 receiver team. Like, why not? And makes sense. I'd probably go with Lance or Naylor here.
Let's try Bryce Lance if he's assuming he's there. But
yeah, I'm cool with that.
Also, Malachi Fields, I think, would be interesting.
Yeah, I have a ton of Malachi Fields. I was drafting him a lot before the combine. Didn't have the best combine. Not the fastest, but he's also 6'4", like almost 220 pounds. Definitely a big jump ball guy who can get touchdowns, which isn't bad in best ball. And maybe you can just get some downfield long catches as well.
Do you ever take Cooper Kupp?
Very rarely, not often.
Yeah, it seems like he is starting to go just undrafted quite often now.
Like, he had a good game in the Super Bowl, but for a veteran that's been Super Bowl MVP before, I think that should be expected.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get hurt last year and miss a bunch of time. I would just double down on that take this year rather than expect him to live up to better draft capital than what he's offering right now.
Yeah, I was not drafting him last year.
I think I'm at like 3%, maybe 2% Cooper Kupp so far, but I'm just fully in on Torrey Horton. So we going Bryce Lance, it sounds like?
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I think it fits this team.
Vámonos. All right.
And that's why I like to go 8 receivers, because we have 7 good ones. And then if Bryce Lance is the next Christian Watson somehow, then it's looking pretty great for spike weeks.
It sounds like he turned down a lot of NIL money just to stay at North Dakota State as well. So like he could have moved up in the world a little bit, but he stayed loyal. So
we like a loyal guy
as well, not just chasing the money.
Hell yeah, dude. And for anyone watching, Nice and Blunt are going to move over to my channel in about 12 minutes at 6:15. So we're going to do a third draft over there if anyone wants to come tune into that.
Yeah, the link just dropped it in the chat. In case you haven't subscribed yet, go over there and hit that button. I'll be there with him in the next 10 minutes. We'll just remind y'all of how this team went and have a little sign off before we leave. We went in the 6th spot. We go 2-7-8-3. We did get sniped on some of our quarterback desired options, but still wound up with Trevor Lawrence at a 9-pick discount, Brock Purdy in the round after. I'm glad that worked out for us. We took Kenneth Walker in the 3rd, Swift in the 5th, and then kind of got a little desperate for a while. We took Kenny Gainwell, Rashad White, Jonathan Brooks, Nick Singleton, and Damon Claiborne. Honestly, as long as Walker and Swift are staying healthy, I think we're in great shape with that running back room. Like it can totally work out. We just need a little luck in terms of landing spot.
Yeah, we have a lot of pass catchers at running back for sure, which always feels great.
Yeah, great PPR value. Absolutely. And then our receiver room, top five, I think is just so loaded. We are absolutely in business. We got Amon Ra, Malik Neighbors, Devontae Smith, Jordan Tyson at a nice little dip in value as well. Ricky Pearsall for that Brock Purdy stack. Trey Tucker is when we got back in at pick 187. We go Ryan Flournoy and Bryce Lance in the final round. Our tight end room has George Kittle for the stack, Brenton Strange also for the stack, and then who knows where Isaiah Likely is going to land, but definitely some elite upside. I loved Likely last year, and then if not for the injury, I think he would be going in the George Kittle, Brenton Strange range right now. But he has that like 20-point upside that you just can't really replicate at the position that late in the ADP.
Yeah, plus I think his growth was just stunted. One being in Baltimore, low passing volume, and being behind Mark Andrews. Peace out, Danimal. What's up, dog? But one thing as well with tight ends, we see a lot of them do well on their second contract. It's one of the hardest positions to pick up in the NFL because you have to learn blocking schemes and receiving schemes. And Isaiah Likely isn't much of a blocker, but I think he could really do well if he goes to the right team.
We have seen like a few elite like rookies perform at that position, but in general, it's a position that matures very well rather than like produces elite numbers at the beginning of the season. And if not for his like foot injury, I do think he was going to crush last year, especially in a contract season last season. If not for the injury, I think he would have been much better. So
yeah, he still had some moments, still had some games for sure.
Yeah, as long as our running back room works out as we're hoping, I think this team is awesome.
Yeah, I like it. It's got a lot of upside all around.
Those receivers make me very, very confident.
I mean, you could argue our top 6 receivers right now are wide receiver ones. I know Trey Tucker's not going to be wide receiver one entering the season, but right now he is. And Jordan Tyson, he could go to the right team and be wide receiver one if he's healthy. If AJ Brown gets traded, Smith can be wide receiver one. And depending on what San Francisco does, and if Ricky Pearsall stays healthy, he could be a wide receiver one too.
Yeah, we 100% have the room to cover Neighbors if he misses any time. And then once Neighbors slides in, like we have 2 top 5 receivers. We're in business.
Hell Sweet. Yeah, dude.
I like this team a lot. We will head over to your draft. Is there anything else you would like to add before we go?
Man, just thank you. Thank you for having me on, for introducing me to your viewers and everyone watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed the drafts. I really like drafting with Nice and Blunt. I think we get some nice teams together. They definitely fuck.
Yeah, we got some good chemistry, and we have similar takes, and I feel like we target good players. But that Brian Thomas deal.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
That's going to be as long as Thomas. Yes, the virtual handshake. As long as Thomas stays with Jacksonville, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And
for anyone who missed that, I think Parker Washington straight up outscores Brian Thomas. And loser of the bet, similar to what PPR Tyler and Off the Schneid did, they're going to be paying for a bigger board next season. So I think that's fun. Gives us something to sweat during the season and look forward to.
Just before we go, just to remind everyone, I'll pull it up once I have it set. But just a quick reminder on some Brian Thomas Jr. college stats. 13 games, 1,177 yards, and 17 touchdowns as a junior for LSU. Meanwhile, Parker Washington, well, I've mistyped it. There we go. Just
6th round pick. Yeah, dude.
Best season, had 820 yards and 4 touchdowns. So college stats are not everything, but I'm happy I have the more talented player in that thing.
I'm with it, man. I'm putting money on that. So
let's go.
I'll back it up.
I hope he stays in Jacksonville, that we can see this trade live out. The only thing is, what about injury? Like what if one of the guys goes down like week 4? Is the trade just no?
I think an easy thing is just half the season. If they miss half the, or do you want to say like 6 games, then it's just void?
How about they have to play 10 games?
I'm cool with that.
Okay, 10 games minimum. They're both in Jacksonville. It's a deal.
Yeah.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Okay. I'll see you in 5 minutes over on my channel, and hopefully
Yeah,
everyone comes on over to that.
yeah. Everyone, as long as you got the time, come and join us. We'll draft another awesome team. See
Yes,
y'all
sir.
then.
I emailed you the StreamYard link.
All right, I'll be there. Peace out, everyone. Bye bye.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.